Hi, I'm Dr. Stephen Stokes. It was back in about 2001 when I first heard the term angiogenesis. I was studying the effects of class 4 laser and tissue regeneration in patients with pain. And I remember that there was a bunch of Russian scientists who were doing studies that showed that laser promoted something called angiogenesis. And it just was a side note. Angiogenesis was basically the proliferation or the growth of blood vessels. That's all I knew about it. It didn't really mean much to me. I was more interested in just whether or not I could get patients out of pain quicker with laser therapy. That was all I was really interested in. And at the time, in my clinic, as part of my intake, I was doing standard vitals, including blood pressure and pulse ox. And there was at the time a correlation between patients that got better quicker and good cardiovascular stats. People with lower blood pressure and better perfusion indexes, they got better quicker. But at the time, I just thought it was because they were healthier, and it didn't matter to me really anything more than that. So later, as I continued to accumulate all this data, what I saw was that there was a direct relationship between a person who had chronic lower back pain and cardiovascular health. Even to the point where some of my patients who were chronic low back pain patients, who then went and had bypass surgery, when they came out of the bypass surgery, their back pain was completely healed. And so that really became interesting to me. And I started to study it exclusively, and what I found was a correlation between a person's cardiovascular health and their ability to heal from chronic pain. And the mechanism of that was angiogenesis. If your cardiovascular system is healthy, then your body can grow new blood vessel branches into the damaged tissue easier. I say easier because that's the only way that the body heals anyways, is through angiogenesis. And if you can do that efficiently, you're going to heal better. And so that meant that I had to start paying a lot more attention to patients who were in poor cardiovascular health, because they're just not going to get the results. I had to start paying more attention to my patients' blood pressure and make sure that they are managing that properly if they want to get rid of, for example, their back pain or their headaches or recover from shoulder surgery. It became a big deal. All of a sudden now I had a mechanism, I had a foundation of the mechanism for how the body healed. And really, it comes down to almost a, one cause, one cure type of an ideology. Because if we're talking about degenerative diseases, which is basically all that I treat, things like arthritis, degenerative disc disease, spinal stenosis, these conditions primarily are caused by ischemia, which means that the damaged parts of the body are not able to get enough blood and oxygen, and therefore they cannot heal. The solution to ischemia in a human body is angiogenesis, is growing more branches of blood vessels into that damaged tissue so the body can do its thing. The body can heal. It naturally wants to heal. Well, it turns out that the most important protein in that process is something called VEGF. And VEGF is a growth factor that stimulates angiogenesis. It stimulates blood vessel growth into those damaged tissues. Well, every therapy that I use in my clinic, PEMF, laser therapy, VAX-D therapy, cupping, even some of the manual therapies that we do here, HakuMed, bioelectrical therapy, all these therapies have a foundation in increasing VEGF in the body, naturally, without drugs. So basically the concept is that we want to influence angiogenesis by stimulating VEGF so that the body can grow more blood vessels into the damaged tissue, supply that tissue with more blood, and in the blood we have oxygen, we have nutritional factors, we have all the chemicals that the body needs to make that happen, to make that regeneration happen. And we stimulate that process naturally without drugs or without invasive procedures like injections, and the patient heals. And that is the foundation of everything I do in this clinic. Little did I know back in 2001, when I was looking at buying a laser, that everything sort of circle would come around to today, where angiogenesis becomes the primary mechanism of everything I do clinically. So I hope this was informative. I hope it lets you know that there is an alternative to traditional medicine. where we can stimulate VEGF and we can create long-term change in the body naturally with the proper approach. If you have any questions about angiogenesis, go ahead and email me, give me a call on the phone, drop by the office, or pick up a copy of my book, which details this process in much more to a much more greater extent than I can do on a couple of minutes on a video.